Whoever's editing this, good luck.
I am the Doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts, your life is saved. Run into the Master Raw, Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache, reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride, it's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space, oh what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, a Daleks baby.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go, a new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you, best come with me, I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I am your host, I'm Adam O'Sullivan.
Woo.
Joined as always by my co-host, it's Nicchia Schutt. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good because it's raining and I love the rain.
So do I. It's beautiful weather outside.
It is. Were you ex-country? Because being an ex-country girl, every time it rains I get a little bit excited because it means the crops will get in. Not that I have any and I don't grow anything, but it still excites me.
I just like rain. Crops are good. I like crops, you know. But yeah, I just like rain.
I know. I've been ringing I've been texting my country cousins to find out what's going on. They're getting nothing.
Oh, great.
Shits me to tears.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone, like I was hanging out with my mum and my auntie last night, and they're like, at least the farmers will get the rain. And I'm like, just because it's raining in Brisbane, I don't think it's raining out there as well.
Yeah, one of my cousins said, well, listen, I sneezed and had to wipe my glasses down. Does that count? That was his rain. So,
And then had to use that water on the crops.
Yeah. For the cattle to lick off his glasses. Anyway, so to any farmers who listen, I hope it rains for you. I really, really do.
Please welcome our guest. It's Rebekah Wolfenden.
Woo!
Is that the first time we've said my name on the podcast?
Yeah,
like my full name?
Do you want me to say your name?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Say my name, baby. Say my name.
No one's going to stop me.
Of course, it's our trusty BekTech. This is one of this is one of your favourite episodes, so we've
Yes, it is my favourite episode.
So you're our guest.
And it's easier for scheduling.
Yeah, but do not drop the technical duties just because you're a guest now. Don't think you get any special treatment, okay?
So is that a cue for me to turn your microphone down?
Yeah, that's what we hire you for,
Yeah.
is to turn our microphones down.
Yeah.
And
We have no
yours
idea how to do it.
Yeah.
It's this shiny red knob.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, so we lost this episode. It's been destroyed by BekTech.
Dun, dun, dun.
As we start, as we always do, by giving it a D-whirl with Doctor Who in real life.
Ooh.
Now, this is from an interview from 2018, but it's so interesting, and I only just found out about it that I just had to share it. On the red carpet for the premiere of her first episode as the Doctor, last year in 2018, Jodie was asked to elaborate on something she had mentioned in a previous interview, that she'd auditioned for a role in Doctor Who for Matt Smith's first season.
Ooh.
Yes.
She says, I didn't get it, obviously. I think I put myself on tape and didn't get it.
That was like almost a decade ago, wasn't it?
Matt Smith?
Not that long ago. Oh, yeah. Well,
Because
actually,
David Tennant finished in 2010, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
So almost a decade ago.
Just thinking about that stuff, like even just 10 years ago, the world really wasn't as progressive as it is now.
It's changed a
Well,
lot.
she wasn't auditioning for the Doctor.
Oh, okay.
No.
But I'm glad she did. Well, it wouldn't have mattered because Peter Capaldi was in an episode and then he became the Doctor.
I said she also mentions it's good she didn't get it because it might have ruled her out of being the Doctor, although Peter Capaldi could argue against that.
And Karen
Gillan.
Amy Pond, she was in, and so was Martha.
Yeah. I
So-
watched that episode the other day.
Chris Chibnall was standing beside her and asked her if she could remember the character she auditioned for, or at least the episode, and Whittaker replies, well, no, because I don't know if I was sent the whole episode. I wouldn't have been a big enough deal back then to be sent the whole episode.
Wow.
So, yeah. I wonder
Wow.
how-
So that must have been obviously before Broadchurch.
Oh, yeah,
It would have been,
definitely.
yeah, 'cause
definitely.
thinking when
10
Broadchurch
years ago
came
was,
out.
was definitely before Broadchurch.
Wow.
She was a up-and-coming actor at that point.
Well, I mean, I can't believe that Olivia Colman got the crap part that she got in Matt Smith's first episode, and yet she's won BAFTAs and she's amazing. I mean, it would have been great to give her a better role. But I suppose she wasn't a big deal. Right?
Simon Pegg was in an audio episode, Simon Pegg known for his English accent, playing a Brooklyn gangster.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the audio episode, you have no idea who is Simon Pegg because it's such... Oh, so bad.
No idea who Simon Pegg is? Or who is Simon Pegg?
Like, which character is Simon Pegg? Because it's an audio episode, so you've just got based on his voice.
Yeah, and if you can't pick their voice...
Yeah.
That's something I like doing when I listen to animated, movies and cartoons, is picking the voice. And then I can go, who's that? I've got to know.
We're actually 3 degrees of separation away from Simon Pegg.
Are we?
Have you heard of the 6 degrees of separation away from people?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon started, wasn't it?
So... Our guest, Tim Ferguson,
Oh.
Simon Pegg, and I'm sorry, what that other guy's name is? Nick Frost, that's it. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are big Doug and the All-Stars fans.
Oh
Really?
My God.
Yeah. There was a Good News Week thing that they did for their movie Paul.
Yeah.
And they went on stage and met up with Paul McDermott, and they're just like, this guy is a god to us.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh my God. Does that like they're just as much geeks about Doug and the All-Stars as I guess we all are.
Well, then let's just put a call out to Simon Pegg. Tim, if you could just ring Simon, Nick.
Can you bed Simon Pegg's arm for us?
Yeah, just get him on the blower next time they're out here. Just say, look, I was on this great Doctor Who podcast.
Oh, the people are fantastic.
And once you finish doing that, you can also go on D4WH.
Yeah, exactly. Do it. Do it.
Tim Ferguson and Simon Pegg would have to be in the same town at the same time for us to even attempt that.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
It's one of the crappy things about living in Australia, really, isn't it?
Okay, Beck, that's your next
Next
mission.
Yeah.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Please do.
Yeah, please accept it.
Our episode today is The Girl in the Fireplace, Season 2, Episode 4, written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Euros Lyn. Originally aired on the BBC Saturday, May 6th, 2006. Start with a short synopsis. For their first trip with Mickey, the Doctor and Rose end up on a spaceship in the future that contains several portals to pre-revolutionary France. When the Doctor steps through one of these portals, he meets the girl in the fireplace and discovers the even greater mystery of actual romantic love. Unfortunately, clockwork robots from the 51st century might have a little something to say about that, as they are hunting Madame de Pompadour, waiting for her to be ready.
Complete.
Ding!
And Mickey's first episode.
Yeah, well, Mickey's first adventure.
Yeah, I shouldn't say first episode. His first adventure in the TARDIS.
He got a spaceship.
Yeah.
Guys, he got a spaceship.
First
On my
time.
first try.
It looks so real. Looks like a PlayStation.
Might be the set from the game station from last season.
It could be, but it's also the first time, and I really like that they've finally got Rose right. She's not carrying on being jealous in this whole thing.
Oh, she's great in this episode.
Yeah, now whether meeting Sarah and realising she's not the first companion has kind of put her in the right frame of mind, but I enjoyed her performance in this so much better. I know that she's a bit more sidelined, but I really enjoyed it.
This is the start of the end of her story arc, where she, realizes that she's one of many.
Yeah.
One of many.
Yeah, which Mickey will never let her forget. His purpose of this episode is basically to be scared and to remind Rose she's not the first.
Yeah, Rose, I've fucked so many people. You're not the first, but I want you to be my last. Please come back, Rose.
Yeah. Whereas the Doctor's just going around with everyone, and Rose is like, oh my God, he's so dreamy. Mickey's like, yeah, see, you're not the first. Also, I would dump everyone for you. Please stay with me.
Well, I don't think Mickey's desperation for Rose comes out in this one either, which is what I like. There's not the angst and stuff going on. It's a really good adventure story. It's really romantic. It's sad. And the girl who plays Renette, she and David Tennant actually went out for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gorgeous. She's amazing.
Stunning, isn't she? Stunning.
So when he was acting as the Doctor, he's like, well, hello.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
How many girls did he do that to?
Yeah,
in
probably
his
all
4
of them.
years.
But then he was like, Wait, you're not the daughter of a previous doctor? I'm sorry, I'm so not
Wait,
interested
you're
anymore.
not Kylie Minogue? Get the fuck out of
Oh,
here.
yeah, I wonder if that... Anyway.
Rumours.
Let's not cast aspersions on Kylie and David's
Because we all know...
friendship.
Because we all know aspersions is a level 3 spell, and we're only level 2.
Exactly.
So we
I thought
definitely
it was,
can't cast it.
I thought it was like a disability. Aspersion?
No, that's
That's Asperger's.
Asperger's.
Asperger's. My little brother's going to kill me for that. He has Asperger's.
Does he listen to the podcast?
No.
Yeah, well, fucking
I'm
then.
not
That's
going
right.
to say...
If he doesn't listen to the podcast, then
We don't
fuck
like
that
him.
guy.
We don't like him. He's off the
He
Christmas
said,
list.
why would I want to listen to a bunch of old people talking about Doctor Who?
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, I can...
He's 20 years old, so forgive him. He's a little bit...
Oh, that's all right. I'm
He has Asperger's.
I'm old. I know.
Oh, my God.
But I'm still... But I'm not...
I guess that includes me, but though we're only 3 years difference.
What do people got against old people? We're much wiser.
What? What did you say?
I don't know.
What?
Who? Is that your pill? Is that your pills? I heard...
My podcast and pills.
Have you got your hearing aid in?
Oh, well. I'll put him in a home one day.
Yeah.
Was that a threat? I'll
Yeah.
put him in a home one day.
Yeah.
Is the home the morgue?
Just in the front room.
If he pisses me off enough.
Jesus. Well, you know, they say any publicity is good publicity. So when you murder your brother and we get on the news...
Any family love is good family love.
Oh, God.
I don't know about that. There's some family love you don't want to get involved in.
No. Like the Manson family love.
That's true.
Must be love, love, and murder.
That sounds good.
In 18th century Versailles, panic is in the palace as people run from an unseen enemy. Madame de Pompadour, or Renette, shouts into a fireplace while her lover, the King of France, thinks so balmy. She is calling out to the one man who has always been there for her whenever she needs it. The Doctor!
I really like that. I love
Yeah.
the fact that they set it up and you go, what?
Yeah.
Why is a woman in 17th century France calling into a fireplace, or France, calling into a fireplace for the Doctor?
Well, it is called The Girl in the Fireplace.
Yes, I know, but...
And not once does she hop into the physical fireplace.
No.
I was
she doesn't.
disappointed.
The girl looking...
1 out of 5.
Could have been called the girl looking.
Wow, we really preempted that, didn't you?
Could have been the girl looking in the fireplace. She's not in the
Or
fireplace.
through the fireplace.
Something like
The
that.
girl in 17th century France who looks through the fire at the Doctor who's in a spaceship from the 51st century.
Who
Yeah,
she
I
wants
think
to
that would have
fuck.
been a better title.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a sort of title that I can understand.
Yeah, and that's why I should write Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah.
You do. In your spare
In my
time.
head, yeah. But
in your
I mean,
fan
PG
fiction.
ones that can be shown on TV.
Yeah.
Those aren't the good kind, though.
So I thought that was a great setup,
Yeah.
and I was hooked immediately. I couldn't wait to see how this was going to unfold. How about you, Beck? This is your favourite.
You weren't hooked.
No, I was. When I first watched it, like I think I was 17 or something like that. Like I've always sort of had a dirty sort of humour. But
I've never noticed that.
No, really?
Yeah.
No, never.
Back then I was still quite sheltered to a lot of things. So when I first watched it, I didn't realise that she was the king's basically
Mistress.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, she's...
We don't know that's the king yet, so...
No, later on.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, have I spoiled it?
Yeah, you have.
Damn it, I've got one opportunity on D4WH and I just blew it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we constantly see her yelling into the fireplace for the Doctor, but we never see the Doctor yelling into her fireplace.
Oh. Boom, boom.
Jesus, take the wheel. Seriously.
Take the wheel and drive on out of here.
All right. Okay.
Somebody else is going to drive me crazy from time to time.
drive me crazy. I drive crazy.
I'm dancing, if you can't tell.
I'm just sitting here waiting for them to get on with it.
You were saying about the you didn't know she was a mistress.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
that was my story.
Well, the French were very different. Well, I mean, the English all had mistresses as well, but it was all kept under wraps.
Do you think that was the main reason why they had the French Revolution? Is because they were like, we want mistresses. We want mistresses.
No.
Cut off their heads.
Can you
Also
hear the people sing?
singing the songs of mistresses.
No, I think they were starving to death.
Yes, I think that's right. And they had no money. And,
yeah, and they were getting sent to prison for stealing, I don't know, hankies.
Look, I'm not suggesting we're almost in a pretty much exact similar position these days.
But it's close.
Everyone's got a mistress.
Australia's never had a civil war.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not asking anyone to start one, by the way, but that's very rare.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look, I'm just pointing out that if you made $10,000 an hour every day of the week, it would still take you 41 years to earn $1 billion. No one should have $1 billion, guys. No one should have $1 billion.
Nobody.
Well, I only earn $10,000 a year, so I won't be earning $10,000 an hour.
That's a billion years to get there, Beck.
But no, anyway, this has become the Marxist podcast.
Yeah. When did we become the Communist Party here?
A couple of years ago, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
3,000 years later, in the 51st century, the TARDIS arrives on an abandoned spaceship. The Hoobie Gang exits, and Mickey is thrilled to have gotten a spaceship on his first go. Woohoo! And we also know that the 51st century is also the century that Captain Jack comes from.
I know.
And K9.
Yes. Would have been nice if Captain Jack had sauntered on in.
Yeah. Oh, hey, guys.
I don't know where everyone is.
Yeah,
Please don't tell me he has something for K9 too.
Well, who would know with Captain Jack?
Well, the Mark IV, you don't know what attachments that one has.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
You would not. Examining some equipment, the Doctor notes that the ship was damaged and is in the middle of repairs. However, the ship is putting out an enormous amount of energy, enough to punch a hole in the universe, even though it is stationary.
Yes. So I love the smoking pods.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, whilst talking about the missing crew, Rose uses the very English and Australian phrase, stepped out for a fag, to suggest they're out smoking.
That is such an Australian phrase.
Yeah. It's a lot more offensive in America, where most of our American listeners are.
Yeah, but I would have to say that put in the context of in Australia and England, that is a very common phrase you hear all the time. I'm just nipping out for a fag.
Yeah.
Don't be offended. It's just a different way we think.
And I think as we get a more global world, I think we understand. We're kind of phasing it out of the vernacular.
Yeah.
The Doctor points out that the smoking pods are empty, suggesting that smoking still happens in the 51st century. Though I assume it's mostly a lot of vaping instead of actual cigarettes.
Yeah, probably vaping. Yeah. The other one is a durry. I'm nicking out for a durry.
I would love, I don't know whether you guys do it, but I just personified myself 10 years down the road and just been imagine if we listened to this episode in 10 years time and vaping's been completely outlawed and we're just really, we thought that vaping was still going to be a thing.
I don't think they're going to outlaw vaping. I know they've had a few deaths, but I mean they've had a few billion from alcohol and cigarettes.
I think they'll remake them and make them better.
Until they regulate it, then they can't get a good, a safe mix, and they need to regulate it. But
personally, I'd prefer to step out and have a fad, not a fad.
Oh yes, that's the other thing. Is in Australia they had
changed.
these lollies, these little.
They still have them.
Lolly cigarettes. They used to be called fags.
Yeah.
And obviously, once in the 80s when they realised that it was offensive, they changed it to fads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually seen them called fags.
Oh, they were when I was a kid.
Yeah, they were when I was a kid.
And also when I was a kid, they had the little white musk sticks, basically.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, the
painted red on the
ends
end.
were painted red like a lit cigarette.
Yeah.
And then they took that away, so now they're just white sticks of lolly.
Well, we used to walk around with them in our mouth, pretending that we were,
Yeah,
and the advertising had a gangster on it, having a cigarette on it, having a cigar.
Yeah, it's completely changed now. I've never seen them with red on them.
I used to be able to go to the show and get these little monkeys that would smoke, and you put water in them and they heated. I think they were quite dangerous.
Are these candy, or are you just going to the show and setting on fire the monkey exhibit?
No. They were little sort of plastic, and they looked like monkeys. You could make them look like they were smoking, which apparently, as we were kids, thought that was hilarious. But I don't know how how safe they were.
And welcome back to our monkey smoking podcast.
Well, like you said before, we should prepare this episode for when we listen to it in 10 years from now. So we used to have this thing called chocolate and avocados.
Oh.
And it's a shame that we don't have those anymore.
And remember when
Remember
when you could get bananas for under $9,000?
Yes.
I just love that. Remember when fuel was like $1.40 and you thought
They
that was
reckon we're
expensive.
running out of bananas. Like they can't make any more of the strain of bananas because apparently in the 50s, like before the 50s, they had a different strain of bananas.
Oh.
And that ran out. So what they did was they genetically modified this strain of bananas, which is actually less sweet than the previous one. And now because of the virus that's going around killing all the bananas, they're now trying to make another strain of bananas that tastes the same as the one we've got now, and they're having difficulty doing that.
I cannot live in a world without bananas.
I know.
I cannot.
It's one of a handful of fruits that I actually eat.
Bananas and apples.
I have
Love
bananas
them
at home. Maybe I should just keep them.
both. They'll go off.
Yeah, they'll go so off.
I'll just have to get into contact with Walt Disney and get him to tell me his secret.
Yeah.
He's dead.
No, he's cryogenically frozen.
He's not really. He's 100% dead.
He's sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
He's sleeping.
He lives in the creations that we see every day.
We don't want to tell our people that listen to the podcast
Yeah.
that he's dead.
I used to
'Cause
tell
it'll
that
break
to-
so many
I
hearts.
used to tell that to my kids a lot. If they saw an animal that was
He's
dead on the side of the
sleeping.
road, they'd say, that animal's dead. I'd go, no, he's just sleeping because it's warm on the road.
I'm so sorry. We do have some kids listening, so that's right. Walt Disney does exist. He's real. He comes and delivers presents to you
No, that's Santa.
every Mickey Mouse Day.
How is it that if something's Mickey Mouse, it's bad?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. My dad we bought a car and he hated it, a Kingswood Premier. And he said, this is a bloody Mickey Mouse car. Is that good or bad? Apparently bad.
And we should prepare the episode for 10 years now. So all bow down to our Disney overlords. We love
That's
you.
not 10
we love
years
you.
away. That's like now. They own lots of things.
Hello, Disney.
They own Star Wars. they
Thank you
own
for listening
Marvel.
to the only part of this
They don't
podcast
own
that will be
Spider-Man.
broadcast after Disney rules everything.
And I'd just like to say, although it's from Looney Tunes, hello, my darling, hello, my baby. Hello,
said
my
that.
10 years from
ragtime.
now, Disney will own Looney Tunes.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime. Yeah.
Love that.
Ragtime Disney.
Right, we should get back to the episode.
Yes.
Even stranger, the ship smells like someone is cooking a roast.
Oh.
Ew.
I thought they meant the fireplace. I thought that was the smell of the
did you?
fireplace, yeah.
Yeah, I thought because you could smell through the fireplace, you could look through, I thought maybe the smell was wafting in from somewhere
Yeah.
else. I didn't think it was what it was.
No, tasty.
Yum, yum.
Curiously, the gang find an 18th century fireplace in the spaceship. Looking through the fireplace, the Hoobie gang can see a child's bedroom, and the Doctor introduces himself to the child named Renette. She says the year is 1727 and the place is Paris, France, and the Doctor confirms that she's speaking the right period French. Mickey is introduced to the TARDIS translation ability because all he can hear is the Queen's English. Although, strangely, the word monsieur is not translated by the TARDIS, so perhaps it has affinity for some words in the original language.
Well, and also that's just a lovely French word, isn't it?
Okay, well, the TARDIS is romantic.
I mean, we all know a little tiny bit of French, enough to know.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I don't think that's French. I think fuck you.
Pardon my friend. but fuck
Oh,
you.
yes, Gerard Depardieu, we all know a little
What's
bit of French.
that?
That's
Yeah.
an actor.
Oh.
Yeah. She really is young.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Shut the fuck up. Pardon my friend.
How about Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh, my erotic little seductive bird.
Asterix and Obelix.
I know that one too.
Okay, all right. Well, Gerard Depardieu played Obelix
Oh, okay.
in the live-action movies. Interestingly, nobody ever talks about croissants,
That'd be good.
Croissant.
which is obviously because the modern-day croissant wasn't mentioned in print until the 1850s.
Really?
I thought that guy said that her name was.
Poisson,
Yeah, he says poisson.
Poisson.
But I
Yeah.
thought he was saying croissant.
which I believe is French for fish.
What?
Poisson, I believe.
Well, isn't
Miss Fish.
Miss
isn't
Fish.
the doctor's word
fish.
allons-y
Yeah.
mean get going in French?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's this
He's got a little bit of French.
a little bit of French.
Yeah, and he can French kiss too.
I
From
know.
what we've seen.
I'd like to try that. Mm-hmm.
But it would have been interesting to see if the TARDIS would translate the word croissant when someone said it in French, considering that the word means increasing or growing as the pastry grows in size when cooked.
Well, that's a really long sentence to say about a piece of bread, isn't it? Oh, look at this. Pastry rises while it...
I'm sure I'd grow in size if I was cooked.
I think I'd
you
shrink.
shrivel up, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, meat shrivels up, pastry
Shrivel
rises.
up and die.
Wait, you think I'm made of meat?
Anyway.
You are. Actually,
are you a dough boy?
Yeah.
You're mostly water.
I'm a dough girl.
Dough girl! When Mickey comments that the Doctor said they were supposed to be in the 51st century, the Doctor explains that they have found a hole punched in the universe. The Doctor calls it a spatio-temporal hyperlink between the spaceship and 1727. The Doctor then admits that he didn't want to say magic door because the phenomenon has no name.
I think he could have used magic door. He does wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey.
Step into my magic door, baby.
Yep, that was a reference I didn't get.
The Doctor decides to explore further. He flips a switch on the mantle to rotate the fireplace into Renette's bedroom. I love that when you first go into the room and you see the fireplace, you can see the grooves of the circle.
Yeah.
So funny.
You can, but I mean, I have to say, I only noticed that about the third or fourth time I watched it. The first time I was absolutely transported. I was going on this journey. Nothing was going to interrupt it.
Yeah, but we're nitpicking as we always do.
I know.
In Renette's bedroom is peaceful save for a rather loud clock. A startled Renette informs him that though it has been mere seconds for him, for her it has been months since they last spoke. The Doctor notices that the clock is broken. So what could be making the ticking noise?
I know.
What is that mysterious ticking noise?
I thought that was so good. That was the tension in that was so great when you're watching it. Because you suddenly go, what is ticking? I thought it was a bomb.
It's a pipe bomb. Yeah.
Pipe bomb.
Because otherwise there'd be two ticking noises.
That's right.
The Doctor traces the noise to under Renette's bed. And
now, that's your worst nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can obviously see it down there, and he kind of looks down there, and it's like, you can see it, right? But then he has to pull out the sonic screwdriver, and I'm like, it's not a torch.
You don't know what the sonic screwdriver is.
The Doctor whips out his sonic, but the ticking creature has a bladed arm attachment.
Yeah, they're quite, beautiful looking, but deadly.
But very deadly,
They'll shank you. I'll shank you, bud.
It has a lot of attachments on it.
Shank you,
I'm wondering how they do all that surgery with that, like... It's like a steampunk knife.
Yeah.
There's gears on it, and it's rotating round. And
That looks really cool, though.
yeah, it looks really cool, but I don't think they could get a lot of surgery done.
Well, I would just say hands down to whoever designed it, because those clockwork droids are fantastic. They're really good.
Do you know if that was practical effects or?
Yeah, practical effects.
So they actually built all those.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they were working animatronics basically.
I mean, clever people in the world, aren't there? I mean, I've just watched Revenge of the Cybermen, and I can tell that the work on the prosthetics and the animatronics and all that stuff is a little better now.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. So obviously, every time that they've got a mask on, that's a person playing the clockwork droids, but every time you see the actual thing, that's an actual prop.
Yeah.
The original idea
really
was
good.
them to not have a face, like to not be wearing a mask, and apparently they were going to try and make a wig big enough to put shadows on the face, so every time you saw them, their face was in shadow, and then when you saw them really, you'd see that they were clockwork. But unfortunately, it transpired that either they would have to make the scene so dark you couldn't see anybody, or they had to make the wigs ridiculously huge. So they were like, okay, we'll give it a carnival mask.
But, I think the masks are creepier.
Yeah.
I find masks creepy.
What I find funny is they don't have eyes, but there's eye holes in the masks.
Yeah.
Well,
they just would have used masks that already exist.
Yeah, but also the thing is that they've got to look almost human when they turn. Well, not human, but they've got to look. It's got to be a face that's not going to be too scary.
Yeah.
So they give them a humanoid mask.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering how they see in general. Like where they're going, they haven't got eyes. Like
Probably just have sensors.
They have echolocation like bats.
Yeah, maybe they're bats.
Yeah,
maybe the
bats.
ticking noise. They hear the ticking noise come back to them.
Tick, 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 tick. Marco. Polo.
Marco.
Tick, tick. Polo.
Marco.
Tick, tick.
Polo.
Polo.
I got to tell you, I think that's the stupidest game in the world. But anyway, let's move on.
It's a kid's game. I don't think it's supposed to make sense.
I don't care. Even as a kid, I thought it was a stupid game.
Fish out of water.
Hate that game too.
And then when the Doctor meets the clockwork...
And Farmer Wants a Wife. Hate that game too.
I hate that TV show, yeah.
Oh, well, the TV show and the game. Mm-hmm.
And when the Doctor meets the droids, he looks at the clothes and goes, oh, that's great stitch work. So they've made their own clothes. And as a cosplayer, I would love one of those clockwork droids.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't you like to dress up like one of them? That would be
Or just have it make my clothes every day.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I want to be Spider-Man. Okay, make me a costume.
Spider-Man isn't in Doctor Who again. Sorry.
Has a costume that makes you look bad.
You can't have any signs of flab. Hey, look out. Here comes Spider-Man.
Shout out to my fat cosplay brothers and sisters. Right.
Well, we met Spider-Man, Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
And she looked fantastic
she looked
in
great.
that costume. I don't know if she listens, but you looked fantastic.
we gave her a card, I think, so hopefully she listens.
We threw them at
this one.
Yeah, we didn't ask you for your name. It felt a little bit weird as we were all waiting to get a picture of
picture with John Barrowman.
John Barrowman. So
and I was just trying not to pee myself. So
did you succeed? Or?
No, I didn't. Why do you think I left so quickly?
Okay.
You knew where she was going because you could see the trail.
Yep.
The Doctor tells Ronette that even monsters have nightmares. When she asks what it is that monsters have nightmares about, he exclaims, "Me!"
I know. I kind of love that line. That is so beautifully cocky.
Yeah.
Doctor Who. Love it.
I've used it a few times in my life.
What do monsters have?
Nightmares of me.
Yeah.
Me.
Hey, baby.
Which is
Do you want to know what monsters have nightmares of? Me. Please leave me alone. Yeah, that's. I get that.
It's usually followed by, and I have nightmares about the monsters.
Yeah.
Get them away from me.
And I have nightmares about you.
Yeah, I have nightmares about all of you.
Yay!
Yay! Where you leave the podcast and I have to do it all on my own.
The Doctor pulls the creature back into the abandoned ship. He subdues it with the fanciest looking fire extinguisher you've ever seen, looking like a gun out of Aliens.
Well, 51st century, you need a good... And who wouldn't want to learn how to use a fire extinguisher if it looked like a gun?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, everybody would be lining up to be a fire
They'd be like, can
warden.
people stop setting fires so you can take pictures with a gun?
You know, imagine, who wants to be a fire warden? Me! Whereas now it's like, quiet.
Yeah. Removing the creature's mask, the Doctor finds it as a clockwork android and admires the assembly.
I love that. Oh, you're beautiful.
Oh, you're lovely.
I love that.
Ain't gonna stop me, though.
No.
The Doctor warns Rose and Mickey not to go looking for it and returns to Ronette's bedroom, so they go looking for it anyway.
Yeah. It's funny when you're watching it and you have to say out loud, he keeps turning up in a girl's bedroom.
So, yeah.
Just a bit creepy.
Wasn't she like 17?
Well, she was 7 the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when he came back in and gave her a cheeky
She
kisseroo on the
kissed
old
him.
fruit.
She kissed him, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't exactly push her away.
Well, they don't say exactly what age she was.
No.
I thought they said she was 17.
I think she looks older than 17
Yeah.
anyway. She's just beautiful.
Because the time after she was 23.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But they are waiting till she's 37. That's when she'll be complete.
37.
Complete.
Oh, she's going to be so old at that age. And as someone who's about to turn 37, is that
next week.
Yeah, is that my Madame de Pompadour year?
Yeah.
Like my Jesus year?
You'll be complete? No, Jesus died at 33.
No, that was my
He
Jesus
was just
year.
using that as a reference.
Yeah, we're going to take your brain on your birthday.
Got to find her first.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then
Thanks,
we're
Beck.
going to look at it.
Back in Ronette's bedroom, the Doctor finds the girl is now a young lady.
Whoa.
Yes, anyway. Well, I mean, in that dress. It's a dress that basically just pushes her boobs up.
Well,
Which they all were.
That's what they wore.
Okay, all right.
I do believe they showed nipple in some of those dresses.
Yeah,
It was
they did.
quite-
What you going to say
No,
this
not in,
episode?
not in this episode.
I was
Not
like,
in
God
this
damn.
episode.
You have to send me a copy of that episode.
The uncut version.
No, I mean traditionally,
Yeah.
they were quite debauched.
Debauched.
Like this
Second
podcast,
time.
darling.
Yes.
She exclaims that he hasn't aged a day since she last saw her, not knowing about the Time Lords having a much longer lifespan. Even if he had gone the long way, he would still look the same.
Yeah, but I like the way she says it's very rude of him.
Yes.
It's very rude of you. Yes, I love that.
You look exactly the way I saw you when I had my first womanly thought.
You cannot, you can't fault the Doctor for falling in love with her. She's just, she's a little bit cheeky. She's, destined to be the King Louis the whatever's favourite mistress, and she's stunning.
Were they dating when this episode was on, or was it after?
I think it was after.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in a TV show with an Australian actor. I wish I could remember. I used to watch it called He Was a Vampire, and it was actually pretty good. It was an American one, but it only lasted one season, Moonlight or something like that. Someone will remember it. No.
Yeah, Twilight. The TV series Twilight.
Yeah, no. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it got canned.
Like they all do.
Yeah, I just thought that they were...
Anything I like gets canned.
I just thought perhaps they were dating when they were filming it. But I guess it makes sense if it was before they started dating, because it did seem like they were sort of eyeing each other off even when they were acting.
Each other.
No, I know that he and she had been in another show together, and he'd asked Rose what she liked because he thought she was a bit standoffish last time he'd ever met her, and Rose said, "Oh, she's really, really nice."
You mean Billie Piper?
Yeah, no. He thought that Renette, the lady who played Renette.
You're just using their character names to talk about actual people.
Sophie, her
Sophia
name
Miles.
is. Sophia Miles.
Okay.
Her and David Tennant had been in something else, and he had felt she was a bit standoffish, and so he said to Billy, who'd done some scenes with her, what she liked. She said, "Oh, really nice." And the two of them,
shag her.
The two of them are talking about Sophia and David on an uncut Doctor Who thing, are talking about how he was really nervous because he thought she didn't like him, and then they obviously became friends, and then
she really
went to being more than friends.
But that was would that have been their first scene together? And they had to, mac out with each other on screen?
Well, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
It could have been the last scene. You just...
Yeah, exactly.
They shoot it all, out of order, so no idea.
She reaches out to touch him, finding he was never a figment of her imagination. She flirts with the Doctor and they kiss before she leaves to join her mother. The Doctor learns that Renette's surname is Poisson and realises she is destined to be titled Madame de Pompadour, mistress to King Louis XV and the uncrowned Queen of France.
I know, and then I love he goes, "I just kissed Madame de
Well, no, he says
Pompadour."
snogged.
Snogged, yeah. Very English, isn't it?
I think if he had said kissed, the servant would have been like, "What the f-?"
Yeah.
But he says snogged, and it would have been like, I don't understand what that is. Anyway,
Yeah.
Well, whenever I think of the difference between, kissing and snogging, I'm just like, well, kissing just seems really sort of innocent and sweet, and then snogging, they were fucking snogging.
Yeah.
That was definitely a French kiss if I've ever seen one.
Yep, they were both enjoying that
I was just like, God damn, Doctor Who.
Yay.
Get some.
Oh, they get some.
He kind of deserves it sometimes.
Oh, God.
To get some, I mean.
Sure.
Fucking get some, Doctor.
It's a long life without getting any.
Well, he has 5 kids with Georgia Moffat, so he's getting some.
Yeah, but that's David
for sure.
Tennant.
I know, he's getting some. Surprised he's not a freaking Catholic like that. Jesus.
Maybe he only got it 5 times. You don't know
Yes.
what goes on.
I mean, yeah, poor guy. Whilst complaining about Rose and Mickey wandering off, the Doctor remarks that there could be anything on the ship. Round the next corner, he finds a horse. It has wandered in through another window in history.
I love the horse.
What's his name? Is it
Arthur.
Arthur? Yeah.
Arthur the horse.
Arthur the
I
horse.
just love that. I love the horse.
You're not keeping the horse.
Yeah, I let you keep Mickey.
Yeah, that's really well.
Yeah, that's when he tells her that that's the name of the horse, Arthur. He's like, no, you're not keeping the horse. I love Billie Piper's acting in this episode.
Yeah.
It's so good.
She is so good in this, and I love the fact that they don't do the angsty, I'm jealous. They just make her a really good
She's
companion.
jealous of Arthur.
She's perfect in this.
Who isn't?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
The Doctor gets to ride Arthur.
I know. I want to be her.
I was going to say such a majestic steed, and then you just had to say that the Doctor's riding him. Oh my god.
Debauchery.
Debauchery.
The Doctor checks it out and finds a garden where an older Renette and her friend are discussing the
What's he
news.
check out?
The door in history.
Oh, that the
garden.
horse came through.
Yeah, I mean, you wrote this, but anyway.
Oh, sorry. It's just that you stopped in the middle and then I got lost.
The horse has wandered in through another window in history. The Doctor checks out the window and finds a garden where an older Reinette and her friend are discussing the news that the King's current mistress is ill and will pass away soon. Reinette senses the Doctor's presence, but he hides.
I like the way they're so upset about the mistress dying, aren't they?
One of us is going to get porked by the king.
I mean, you've got to think, I suppose you want to, as a woman, you don't get a lot of power. So you got to...
What's your job? I'm the king's
mistress. Got to be sleeping with someone fairly powerful to get any sort of say in anything.
Yeah, I mean, it takes on a new meaning of sleeping your way to the top, that's for sure.
Wow. Is there such thing as sleeping your way to the bottom?
Yeah.
Like, do you get a choice?
Yeah, I'd slept my way to the bottom.
Is that what you call this podcast? The bottom?
Yeah,
rock
the
bottom?
bottom.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the literal bottom. I'm talking about, like, getting a choice of being a top or a bottom. Like, does she have to be a top?
If I'm asleep, I'm normally at the bottom.
Well, she probably has to be a top wearing that dress. I don't think you'd be on the bottom.
The Doctor's just...
Anywho.
Under all the flounce and everything. That's why they've got all those, like, cages and stuff.
Imagine getting out of it.
Yeah.
The dress. You know, if you're like, I'm horny right now, and then...
They actually have mate.
2 hours later, it's like it's gone.
Look, I'll just wait here. I'll just have a bite to eat, and then you just let me know when you're half naked.
Yeah.
I was watching a documentary about Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, and like they were just like trying to be like, oh yeah, and then they finally got together, and in the scene they're doing a recreation of like them getting together, but they've got all the maids like undressing them and they're giving each other sexy eyes. I'm just like, just imagine how weird that would be.
And see, the thing is, that's weird for us, but that was so common for them. I mean, the kings had someone who wiped their bottom. You know, you didn't do it yourself. And to me, that would just freak me out if someone came in and said, it's time for me to wipe your ass, Nicchia. I go, hey, get out. But that's what happened.
Imagine being the king and being like, I've never touched my own ass.
I know. I'm not getting poo on these hands.
First time is just like, ooh, that's a nice ass.
Oh, it's just weird.
Anyway, the dress that Sophia Myles wears in the scene was originally made for the 1982 Fifth Doctor adventure Black Orchid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It also appeared in the video for Annie Lennox's song Walking on Broken Glass.
Oh, really?
So the BBC's just, using it up again. Hey, we've got this old dress. We'll use that.
Hey, but it's in good nick.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Meanwhile, Mickey and Rose find a camera with a human eye in it and a human heart wired into machinery.
Can I have my heart back, please?
Yes. Boom, 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 boom.
And that's when they realise it smells like barbecue and it's very creepy. That was very creepy.
I wonder what the legs are used for.
I don't know. Are they like running the treadmill to keep the hamster wheel going? I don't know.
The Doctor remarks that the droids were merely doing what they were programmed to do.
Yep.
Fixing the ship. No one told them the crew weren't on the menu.
That's right. You got to keep this ship running. Did someone mention not to kill the crew and use them? No, that'll never happen.
Why do they program them to have the ability to kill people, though?
No, they're programmed to keep the ship running no matter what.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't have died if they didn't give them like swords for arms.
Well, I think that was just for repairing and stuff.
Yeah,
they're like repair droids basically. Yeah. And at some point they're programming.
Let me restore the computers with this sword.
Yeah. At some point their program got corrupted. So instead of not hurting humans, they were like, we must fix the ship at all costs.
And maybe they didn't think repair droids, they needed to give them prime directive of do not hurt humans. I don't know.
Yeah.
They said they'll never come in contact with humans. Ship's not working. Need your heart.
We'll just ignore the 3 laws of robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're not real.
Wait, what?
The 3 laws of robotics. No, they're a real thing.
Oh.
Maybe they were copyrighted. They were like, nah, we don't need to pay the copyright fee.
Yeah, we didn't have enough money to...
Philip Dick
Isaac
iRobot.
Asimov.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. The Doctor explains to Rose and Mickey that the windows to Reinette's life are all over the ship. As they watch her flirt with the king through a mirror, he says that Reinette plans not to become the queen, as the king already has one, but to become the queen's mistress. He realises that this is the night she and the king first meet, explaining to Rose and Mickey that soon afterwards Reinette becomes the king's official mistress, gaining the title of Madame de Pompadour. The queen must have loved her, Rose quips.
I love the way she says that.
The doctor says Renette and the Queen were good friends. Are you having sex with my husband too? Oh, lovely.
Imagine having all the power of an entire kingdom, but not of your husband's dick.
Well, and I guess in those days you didn't marry for love. You were just married off.
For power.
You probably wanted a bit of a rest from the randy old bugger.
Yeah, you're right. She probably just would have been married for power,
So you wouldn't have been in love, so that would have been just fine. If you've had an heir, official heir, then he can have as many affairs as he likes. Who cares?
Seeing Rose's shock, the doctor tells her that France is like a different planet.
I like he says, you sound just like your mother.
Because he won't allow her to have a mistress. It's like the doctor understands. Yeah, that's for sure.
Serial monogamist.
The doctor spots a clockwork droid in the corner. He crosses through the window and freezes it with an extinguisher, but it doesn't work for long. He asks Renette to order the droid to answer his questions. It identifies as Repair Droid 7, and the ship encountered an ion storm. Oh, man. So much detail in here.
But it's good to know. So, yeah. But it encountered an ion storm, and that's why they had to go and start killing the crew to keep it going.
Horrified, Renette orders the droid to leave. Apparently taking this request literally, it teleports away. Rose and Mickey pursue it, taking the horse with them.
Because that's when Renette finds out that they want her brain.
Yeah.
When it's complete.
Yeah.
I want your brain.
Yeah. Which is going to be fairly horrifying to find out.
I don't have one.
Yeah. The doctor uses his telepathy to look into Renette's mind, displaying an unknown mind meld ability.
Yeah.
Has he used this before or after?
Yeah, he used it with Donna, remember, when he wiped her memory.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's used it, and Peter Capaldi's used it. Yeah, they've all used it a few times.
He explores her mind, hoping to find out why the droids are targeting her. As he does, she mentions a lonely childhood and calls him the doctor, which he hasn't told her.
Yes, which means she's walked into his mind.
Well, Rose does say doctor in that scene, so...
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't think they can't hear her. Rose isn't in the palace. Rose is still on the spaceship.
I thought
later.
It came in.
No, later she comes in.
Oh, no, I think, yeah.
When they went through the window.
No, she's this... They've just been captured by the robot, so Rose is not... She comes in and talks to her after this. So this is actually the first time.
No, but they're in the room with her.
Yeah, when the doctor, Mickey and Rose go through... like that window that opens up, and the Rose is saying doctor.
And they're talking to the robot, and the robot teleports out, and then
really?
And then they go back, and Rose and Mickey go back into the ship.
Oh, I thought it was just the doctor and Renette. I didn't think Mickey and Rose were in the actual palace.
They leave, yeah.
I'll fight you later.
Okay, all right. She invites the doctor to dance with her.
Ooh.
Oh, I love that.
That's a little bit brash. They've only met 3 times.
We know the doctor dances.
Yes. Meanwhile, back on the ship, Mickey is taunting Rose about the many women in the doctor's life, and believe me, Mickey doesn't know the half of it.
That's right. Mickey's already fairly smug about the few that he knows.
Yeah. Mickey knows of 2.
Yeah.
Wait until he finds out.
I know.
He'd be like, oh, shit, Rose, I'm so sorry. You might want to get yourself checked out, love.
There could be a lot going on.
Space Herbies.
So Rose has gotten over the fact that she's not the first companion, but they're captured by the clockwork droids, finding themselves strapped to an operating table and told they are compatible with the ship.
Yeah, aren't they lucky?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to be strapped down going, oh, you're not compatible. Off you go. Yay!
The doctor enters the room apparently drunk. Oh, look what the cat dragged in. The oncoming storm, Rose snaps.
She's really good in that.
Yeah.
Because here she is trying to intimidate them with, the doctor's this, I travel with him, and he comes in.
Well, it's good that Rose has been upgraded to, she's not the lowest rung of the ladder, basically.
Yeah.
She's now the expert, and she's telling Mickey about stuff. And I think that's a good dynamic that they've given Rose.
Yeah, and she's a bit more of an equal.
Yeah.
She's a real companion now. She's not hanging around whining, wanting him to be in love.
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
Although half the conversations she has with Renette are about the doctor.
Well, yeah, that is true.
So does that pass the Bechdel test?
I don't know. Probably.
I've just learned about that one, so I'm going to keep asking.
There's actually another test that you can do.
Which makes men ask whether they're worthy in a show?
You don't need to do that. I think it's pretty obvious that
they're pretty worthy.
No, it's like the lamppost test, and it's like if the women characters in your script could just be replaced with a lamppost and nobody would notice, then You haven't written a very good
Oh my god, I'm the lamppost of the fucking podcast.
Well, imagine how Mickey feels. Like, he's just gone, I don't want to be the tin dog. I want to come with you guys. And the doctor's like, I'll let you keep Mickey.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm not the tin dog, all right?
I want to be the horse.
Mickey's pretty much the tin dog in this because he's the lamppost.
Yeah.
You
I'm
don't
the
really need him.
lamppost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could replace him with a lamppost.
You can.
There you go. The doctor notes she sounds like her mother before going on about how he accidentally invented the banana daiquiri a few centuries too early. They don't even have bananas.
I love he's got his tie around his hair.
And he's got glasses on.
The sunnies on, yeah.
Have you guys had banana daiquiris before?
No.
Yeah.
No. I haven't had anything, so it's okay.
Anything with bananas. Yeah.
Bananas.
He then drunkenly explains the droids are monitoring Renette because once she's 37, she will be complete and the same age as the ship.
Yeah.
So strange. But anyway, 37-year-old ship, eh? It's an old junker.
Yeah, it is an old
classic.
junker. I'm surprised it's not,
No wonder it needs so many repairs.
Yeah. Do you think this ship will last another... Yeah, don't worry, it'll last at least one more trip. You'll be right.
We have used your neighbour's heart to repair the Holden. Afterwards, we will use your brain.
We used your skin for the timing chain thing.
This panel is different. The rest are blue, but this one is flesh-coloured.
Oh, yuck.
The doctor pours his glass of wine / anti-oil on the head of the lead droid and suddenly sobering up, stops the other droids by pulling a console lever and releasing Rose and Mickey. The doctor attempts to close the gateways, however there is still one droid in the past, preventing the shutdown. A ding sounds, which the doctor takes as the droid finding the right point in Renette's life.
It's kind of like the oven ding. Ding!
Yeah,
Dinner's ready.
Oh, she's ready. Ooh. Something's in a microwave. Ding!
I did really like... I remember the first time I watched it. Actually, every time I've watched it since, I really liked that scene where he's pretending to be drunk and the androids are kind of looking at him. Rose is disgusted in him and he's going around and then suddenly... You realise, no, he's right.
Yeah.
They're like a real couple after all.
Yeah.
He's always getting drunk with other women.
Yeah.
She's always got the shits with the oncoming storm.
She's always
at
getting
home
strapped down with other men.
Nah, she's at home sedating herself. Yeah.
The doctor sends Rose to warn a younger Renette that the droids will return to her sometime after her 37th birthday.
So I was nervous about this scene because of the Sarah Jane before and the Rose
It's
thing.
like literally one episode since
and I was really worried that this was going to be a bit more of a bitchy, catty thing. I really liked how it turned out.
It's a pretty good
I thought it was really good, and I thought Billy Piper did a great job, but, the character of Rose handled it really well.
But Rose didn't actually know that anything was happening between the Doctor and Renette.
I think she's got a fairly good idea
When
by
she saw
now.
the dress that Renette was wearing, she's probably like, all right, I know what's going on here.
Yeah, I think she knew. And anyway, before, he wasn't doing anything with Sarah Jane. He just knew her, and she was jealous. So... if you'd gone by that, she would have just hated her. So I liked it. I thought it was good.
Rose and Madame de Pompadour bond over their love of the Doctor. Renette states, the monsters and the Doctor. It seems you cannot have one without the other. And Rose responds, oh, tell me about it.
I know.
When Rose suggests that Renette was never supposed to meet the Doctor, she exclaims, I would not have it any other way. One may tolerate a world of demons for the sake of an angel, and an entire world of nerdy girls all nod in unison.
Yeah.
Wow, you're a nerdy girl, are you?
Yeah.
You nerdy girl.
I was wondering why you're wearing piggy tails today.
Mm-hmm.
You're a naughty girl too.
Oh,
sorry.
My God.
You can cut that if you like.
Rose and Mickey return to the Doctor, who is frustrated that he can't help Renette. The Doctor's only option is to break through the glass, destroying the time windows and trapping him in 17th century France. But he has to save Renette, so he uses Arthur to smash through the window.
That's when you know he's in love with her.
Yes. Or that he's just saving her.
I think it's more. I think he really is. I think it's a real love. I think he loves her. I do. Because there looked to be no way back.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a bit shit if you're Mickey and Rose because you can't use the TARDIS.
Yes.
So I don't know what they do.
We can't go back into our time stream. Doctor, we literally did that last season.
Yeah, I know.
Father's Day. Huh?
Yeah, and perhaps maybe
Wolf.
he could have just left them like a manual on how to get the hell home. Or
but The TARDIS is a manual, though.
Yeah,
I wonder if Rose can drive the TARDIS stick. That wasn't supposed to be an innuendo, but it ended up being. No, she can't,
because they say they would be trapped without the Doctor.
Yeah, which is it's lovely that he's in love with Renette, but it's a bit shit that he just... You've got to realise when you travel with the Doctor, you can just get left anywhere. I mean, he's just left Captain Jack not that long ago. And there you are...
I like to think that the Doctor gets trapped in 17th century France and Rose is like, all right, let's crack open this TARDIS again. I'll absorb the heart of the TARDIS again.
It's 18th century France.
Oh, well, it says 17th century here.
I get confused about that a lot.
No, it was 17th century.
No, it was 18th
Oh,
century.
Because remember, it's a
1727
number above, which is so confusing still.
That's all right. That's me. I take credit. I take not credit.
Credit.
You take all the credit.
I take all the credit and anything that's wrong.
D4WH is produced, edited, and directed by Nicchia.
Yes, and anything that's wrong is someone else's fault. For I am Trump. All right.
Oh, God.
Keep going.
Now, the shot with the Doctor jumping through the mirror.
I just would like to say, Adam O'Sullivan, yes, I'm not sure I know him.
Who's he?
I'm not sure I know him. There's 15 photos with you. No. I don't know him.
You do a podcast with him?
No. I do a podcast with a lot of people.
You do a podcast with these guys about how you like to embezzle money? No, I've never heard of that podcast before. No. But if I had heard of it, it would be the best podcast. Yeah. It'd be the greatest podcast.
Ever.
Nobody would ever listen to any other podcast.
Yeah.
It'd be huge.
Yeah, I'm a stable genius.
Joe Biden hasn't got a good podcast in comparison.
No, you want to investigate what his podcast would be? I bet it would be corrupt.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren's is awful.
Now, the shot with the Doctor jumping through the mirror on a horse into the ballroom was apparently the most difficult shot of the entire series.
It's a good shot.
At one point, it was decided that the shot was too difficult, and when Stephen Moffat was informed, he apparently, as he says it, threw the biggest Queenie strop yet done in Doctor Who, and believe me, there's some competition for that title.
I would love to see that. Just Stephen Moffat just fucking having a tanty on the floor.
I wanted his Queenie strop. I love that. And there's some competition.
He was on a horse advertising Old Spice.
Yes, that's right. They eventually decided, okay, we will give it a try. The next biggest issue was that the horse wasn't allowed in the ballroom where they filmed.
Oh.
So that made it very difficult. They had to film the ballroom scenes without the horse.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing a picture of that. Just David Tennant on, like, this thing.
Yeah.
So he was high enough. Yeah.
And then filmed the horse jumping with a stunt rider. The mirror was then digitally added to the ballroom to explode when the horse jumps through it. And David Tennant's head was added to the stunt rider.
I still think it looks...
Oh, my God.
But it looks really good,
But if you look
it?
really closely, I looked really closely, and you can see his head oddly doesn't move all that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like...
It's just like...
Yes, it's quite weird.
It's such a quick shot, but you want that drama. That's...
Oh, it's great.
It's
great. You can nitpick it. Like, the mirror definitely looks like CGI, and when you notice David Tennant's head, it's like all you can see. It's crazy.
But it just wouldn't have been the same if he'd walked through a window.
Well, they had two other options. Basically, the first option was that he was going to try and get onto the horse, and the horse was going to knock him off, and he falls through the window. And they felt that would take away from his big dramatic, like, I'm coming to rescue you. And the other one was he just jumps.
And I'm a klutz.
Yeah.
The other one be more like Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Doing something like that.
And the other option was he was just going to jump through the window himself.
Oh, yeah, no, that's silly.
So,
why else have you got a bloody horse?
Now I'm just imagining, like, just a normal stock picture of David Tennant, like his face, superimposed onto the face, like, onto the head of that.
It pretty much is, yeah.
But not like, in a way so that it's matching the scene, but just, like a sticker. And his face is, like, forward, but then his body's, like, turned to the
directly
side.
at his head, it does, you can definitely tell that he's not riding that horse.
Yeah, you really have to be looking for it.
And the head is tiny, because it's a giant scene. The head is very tiny, too, so...
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very Doctor. It reminds me of the Matt Smith one, when Rory comes out and goes, who kills all the TARDIS? Oh, who killed all the Daleks? And he's carrying Amy, and he goes, who do you think? I just love that too.
Who are you going to call? The Doctor! When the Doctor tells them he has broken the connection between France and the ship, the droids realise they are no longer needed and collapse to the floor, shattering. Thankfully, they chose that option instead of trying to build a brand new ship using all the parts of humanity. We have the parts. Meanwhile, back on the ship, Rose and Mickey realise that if the Doctor is trapped in France, they are trapped as well, since they cannot operate the TARDIS.
Yeah, that's brutal. I understand he wanted to save her, but give them something. I mean, he's got a CD for Sally Sparrow, and he's got, he could send the TARDIS to himself.
Well, yeah, I think the idea is he's just going to wait. Like, he's just going to wait until he gets back to that point and then save them.
All right, okay. Well, that's true. He probably could. That's a long wait.
Yeah, 3,000 years, he's got some regenerations left.
Will that be a long wait for them? Will they be, dead?
No, it should just happen instantaneously.
Yeah.
That's what time travel is, basically. If he had done that, he would have just walked around the corner and been like, Hello. I've been on the ship the whole time, just waiting.
What's time travel?
Been in the smoking pod.
The smoking pod. Getting
Vaping.
high.
No.
On the other hand, the Doctor seems quite reconciled to take the slow path with Renette.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's in love with her.
So he's the king's mistress's mister.
Yeah.
Mister.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, would the mistresses have been allowed to have other lovers?
I doubt it.
I don't know. I mean, having not been in the courts of Versailles at that in the 18th
Or
century.
being a mistress.
It would depend on the king, I would say.
Yeah. No.
As they sip wine and stargaze through a palace window, he muses about how he might earn money since he's not going anywhere. Renette takes him to her bedroom, but instead of heading straight to the bed...
Yes, which I thought might happen.
So he could show her his a long way around.
David Tennant.
Yeah.
You want to see my Sonic?
It glows in the dark.
The tip does. She shows him that she had her original fireplace from her childhood bedroom brought to the palace. The Doctor thinks that because it was offline when all the other time windows broke, it could have a loose connection. Oh, convenient that.
I thought it was a good... she had it brought over because it reminds her of the Doctor and she loves him. I thought it was... I didn't see it coming. It's not like I went, oh, well, this is what's going to happen. I was going, how the hell is this going to be fixed? And then that's there. It's the look on Renette's face when she realises that he can... go, and I think she didn't really want him to. I think she kind of half hoped it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Using his sonic screwdriver, the Doctor reactivates the link. He heads back to the 51st century, but tells Renette through the fireplace to pack a bag and pick a star.
Oh, I love that. He's so excited, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like a little kid at Christmas. And so is she.
Well, I can't wait to unwrap his present, am I right? Huh?
Wow, there's a lot to unwrap.
What's in that box, I wonder?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box today?
After quickly greeting his very relieved companions and rushing them into the TARDIS, the Doctor turns back to Renette. However, when he rides the mantle around again, she is not there.
Oh, that broke
Searching for her, he instead finds the now much older king. While it had been 2 minutes for the Doctor, it had been years for Renette.
Oh, that was so sad.
I think that was the first time I cried watching Doctor Who. It was so sad.
When they look out the window, he says she's leaving for Paris, and you see the horse-drawn hearse, and I just
Is she driving the carriage? Is she sitting on top? Is she riding one of the horses? Where is she?
Is it her mother? Please tell me it's someone else.
Is she driving along behind? Is she already in Paris? Is she part of the wood? Is she part of the wood?
My heart broke for the Doctor at that. I thought it was so sad.
And the music is really one of my favourite things in that episode.
It's great. Murray Gold does some great music.
Yeah. The King, who is played by the same actor and therefore looks exactly the same, remarks how the Doctor has not aged since he saw him in the last scene. Which, knowing how TV works, was probably filmed first or last or something. This could be the first time these two have met.
I do, it's interesting that he comments on that. So, the King's not really... I don't think he's jealous of the Doctor. He just... I don't think he quite understands what's going on. But I like that he says... when he hands the Doctor a letter from Renette and he wants to know what's in it, and the Doctor just doesn't reply.
It's like, oh, bug off.
Well, it's just beautiful. It shows his heartbreak and his anguish.
Yeah. The King seems devastated that his mistress has passed away, and I presume he will have to select a new one. Oh my, it must be terrible to have to pick a woman to join your harem when so many women want to sleep with you because you're the king. You must be so heartbroken.
Oh, yeah. The next one will be 20.
Yeah, yet another woman has died on me.
God. Cannot keep
I
this.
hope not actually.
Well, I know, because the only reason Renette is the king's mistress is because the previous one died.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
took that literally. I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that'd be awkward.
Once back in the TARDIS, the Doctor tries to act nonchalant.
Nonchalant.
Do you want to drink a little bit louder, or? Mm-hmm. When Rose questions him about why Renette was singled out, he shrugs it off as the ship's damaged computer getting confused and moves to the TARDIS console, calmly shutting down the rest of the time windows. When Rose asks him if is he alright, he looks her in the eye and claims he is always alright, baby. He manages a small smile before looking away, but he isn't fooling anyone. Even Mickey can see that all is not well, and Mickey's a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. When Mickey picks up that you're not in a good place, you know it's fairly obvious. But I also like that Rose she cares. She cares. But it's not in a jealousy sort of way. It's are you all right? Yeah. It's a maturity in Rose's character. I see in this episode anyway.
Oh, look, Doctor, another woman left you, but I won't. I won't ever leave you.
Come play with me, Doctor, forever and ever.
And then that's when Mickey's like, all right, next place we go, I am leaving.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. My heart broke for him. It really did.
Once alone, the Doctor pulls a letter from his pocket and slowly unfolds it. Renette tells of her love for the Doctor and how she fears she may never see him again as her body weakens. Still, she holds out hope. She finishes, Godspeed, my lonely angel. Swallowing hard, he puts the letter back in his pocket. No tears fall, but there is an anguish in his eyes. He then turns to the console, which shows the fireplace still active, and deactivates it, severing the last link.
Pardon?
And welcome back to our ASMR podcast. Why do you think clicking is ASMR?
They do that in ASMR videos. I've seen them. Have you seen them?
Yes, I have, but that seems really boring.
Okay, well,
I would just like
I
to
don't
tell
watch
everyone.
the ones that are on porn sites. So.
Oh, okay. I'll have to send them to you.
I just want to tell everyone I have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Doctor Who.
So
We're talking
old.
about Doctor Who.
Oh, good.
As the light in the fire dies, the TARDIS dematerializes, revealing that it stood in front of a picture of Renette. What?
I know.
As the TARDIS leaves the scene, the name on the ship and the reason the droids targeted Renette can be seen on the outside. The ship is called Red Dwarf.
It's cold outside, there's no kind of vibes.
No, the ship is called SS Madame de Pompadour. The ship drifts through space, lifeless.
I
love that ending.
Love
It's
the
such
ending.
a great ending.
It was, again, another fantastic Moffat story.
Yeah.
It got me hooked from the beginning. Couldn't see where it was going. Couldn't see the endings. Didn't see the twists and turns. Cried. Loved it. Loved it. And
business as usual.
And Rose was, they allowed her to be mature.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that very much.
Mature.
And Mickey was good to have for some comic relief. So he actually wasn't a lamppost because lampposts aren't very funny. So I think we did need...
I'm relating more to this lamppostery
Yeah.
with every sentence you're saying.
But I think we did need a little bit of comedy in there. Yeah. Beautiful dialogue, because Stephen Moffat does beautiful dialogue. And, just loved it.
And I relate to the lamppost because I just wish people would turn me on. So...
Gotta find the switch first.
I don't even know where the switch is. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It's a great representation of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion. This episode was actually supposed to be episode 2 instead of episode 4. But when they read the script, they realised the Doctor was going through like new emotions that they hadn't seen before. So they needed a different episode to go in episode 2 to be a counterpoint to the future stuff.
Yep.
So they slotted that in. And I feel like, it does take the Doctor into new territory and explore those emotions, especially coming so quickly off meeting Sarah Jane again.
Yeah. And look, I think the thing is that having it on After School Reunion, he's still raw from Sarah Jane, from that, knowing that he can't be with people for the rest of their life. And also we see a maturity in Rose's character after meeting Sarah Jane. So I actually think they put it in the right place.
I feel like we need a drinking game for this episode of how many times you mentioned about how Rose is more mature and not jealous.
Well,
in comparison to the last one.
It's just such a... For me, I don't remember seeing this, but now going back and watching it, her character was starting to really bug me. Yeah. And finally I see the Rose that I remember in this episode. So.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because obviously we talk about Rose, this amazing character that we all love, but then we go through season 1 and we were just complaining about how whiny she was, and it's because of...
And immature and how they wrote her the wrong way.
Yeah, but it's because of the story arc that she takes, which obviously has to start with her being a normal teenager, and now she's maturing into a time lady.
Well, and into an almost equal partner with the Doctor. I see that happening, and I know a lot of people didn't like Clara, but I loved that Clara became very much almost too much like the Doctor in that they became the hybrid. But you just see her growing up. And yes, you can have a drinking game. How many times I said she's more mature, but it was...
Please don't.
It was really frustrating because rewatching it, I'm thinking, but I liked Rose. Why aren't I liking her? And this is the first time I went, this is why I like her. This is the Rose I remember.
And Beck?
I actually, because I watched this on Tuesday, I think, and then I tried watching it again last night, but I fell asleep.
It's very, very boring.
Yeah. No, I was just so shattered yesterday. Yeah, so when I was watching this one, I ended up watching it all the way through, and then I remembered how the ending of the Rose character Character
Tell me more about the Rose character arc.
Her end arc.
The Rose character arc about what's the episode called? The End of Time or whatever it is.
Girl in the Fireplace.
No. The last 2 episodes.
Parting of the Ways.
The End of Time.
No, I don't know. Which one?
I think it's The End of Time. It's
Rose's last episode.
No. Yeah, the last 2 episodes, because it's a 2-parter. It's where Martha's in it.
You mean the Army of Ghosts and...
Doomsday.
Yeah, Doomsday, yeah.
I went back and watched the first part of that. I couldn't find the second episode, unfortunately. And it just really interested me in how different Rose was from the start of season 2 to the end. And I can't remember how much time difference in the filming there was, because it seemed like at least a year or something like that between when the first episode and the last episode came out, because I just saw the complete difference in character.
Meeting the Doctor's exes really matures you as a person.
Yeah, look, I just think, it did. And I do think that the school reunion episode, which I think the first time I watched it was just me fangirling about Sarah Jane being there, and probably the first 20 times I watched it. But then after that, watching it and seeing Rose's character realise that this is temporary. This is not the rest of her life, and she's not... I mean, she's special, but she's not the only one, if that makes sense. So
she's special.
I think that really changed her perspective of... Just get out there, enjoy it, get your heart broken if it's worth it, I guess.
All right, as we like to do, we like to give it the episode a score from 1 to 5. As our guest, would you like to go first, Rebekah?
Ooh, Rebekah. I'm going to give it a 4.5. Yeah, it's...
Your favourite episode, you say?
Yes.
Right.
I'm just a sucker for a love story, and I really believe this one. There is another love story, I think when Martha was the companion, where the Doctor becomes human, and he's just like, he's a teacher with that other chick, and I hate that episode. I did not believe that love story, comparatively speaking, to this one. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like, they have no chemistry, like, oh my God. But with this one, I'm just like, love it, and it's a sweet story, and I like historical...
period dramas.
Yeah, like when I was younger, I used to read like made up sort of autobiographies of historical sort of figures, like what's that girl's name? The Princess
Bride.
Yeah, love that movie.
No, Anastasia.
Oh yes.
There was like the book
Romanov.
Series. Yeah, that was the sort of thing that I was into when I was younger. So I really like enjoyed this episode because of that, and also, you know, it just sees sort of more of emotional sort of character development of the Doctor, because with Christopher Eccleston, he's really sort of like coming out of the Time War and really bitter and everything, and
he's much more
I think it was just a
angry.
really good David Tennant episode. Yeah.
And why does it lose half a mark? Because you say it's your favourite episode, but you didn't give it a 5.
I think it's just really difficult for me to give a complete 5 for anything.
She gave me a 5.
Like, there's always things I can
What she told
critique.
me.
Oh, she's a bitch.
She gave you a 4.75. I'm so sorry. It's better than me. She gave me a 1.5.
I know. She actually told me that, yeah.
Could say something
And she said
so bad, but I'm not going to say
she only
it.
gave you the half out of sympathy.
Yeah. It was the score and the length.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, Nicchia.
I'm sorry, but I'm giving it a full-on 5.
Ah.
I love this episode. I've forgotten how much I like it. It's different to some of the other ones I've given 5 to, but I love the love story. I find it believable. I love to see the vulnerability of the Doctor, the growing of Rose. I think Mickey giving some of the comedy relief. The reveal at the end with the spaceship being called
Madame
de Pompadour.
Basically, Nicchia just said what I wanted to say, but I'm not good with words. So
I loved Arthur the Horse, the cannibalizing people to get the spaceship going.
I loved the cannibalism.
Yeah.
But all of it, it's in this love story. But it's creepy. The androids are amazing. The horse going through the mirror, even though you've sort of told me next time I watch it, I'll go, it's a bit shit now, isn't it?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love it. It's a 5 from me.
Okay. And look, we did rewatch this episode way back when we did the David Tennant episode. So for me, rewatching this episode again now, it's actually the easiest and fastest 5 I've ever given an episode.
Yay!
Because I already knew that I love this episode. It's so good. I love the emotion. I love, the set pieces. I love the humor works, and I think all the characters bring their A game. They're written really well. Yeah, it's just a 5 for me as well.
It's such an easy 5. I sat down at the beginning thinking, I think I want to give this a 5, but I'll watch it. And at the end, I went, yes, I want to give it a 5.
Sometimes you watch an episode and you're like, I really enjoyed this, so I'm probably going to give it a 5. And then you rewatch it, you're like, actually.
Was I drunk when I watched it the first 7 times?
No, but you enjoy things more the first time you watch it. So for me, this is definitely a 5.
Yeah, this one I could watch in 10 years and still love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good representation of Doctor Who from this period.
It is. It's probably one that if I wanted someone to get into Doctor Who or David Tennant, Blink was one we always talk about, but Girl in the Fireplace would be another one that I would say watch this.
I think it was one of the ones that made me continue watching it, because it was the 4th episode I'd seen, and I feel like if it wasn't as good, I probably wouldn't have continued like much further past maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
I feel this episode is also definitely the start of the lovey-dovey Doctor.
Lovey-dovey
Everyone
Doctor.
falls in love with the Doctor. David Tennant's so dreamy. Oh my god.
So is that how it happened with you, is it? How you fell in love with
100%.
David Tennant?
I'd have 5 kids for him. I don't know.
Where's your uterus?
All right, welcome to my brand new podcast. Where's your uterus?
Oh, mine's in a bin.
Welcome to the last episode of the podcast. Where's your uterus? That's number Wang. All right, Beck, any plugs that you'd like to get out there?
Yes. I have been plugging my art.
You're an artiste.
Your art from
But the
France.
problem is with my art, my Instagram handle is different from my Facebook because somebody stole the Facebook thing. I
don't know if they stole it. Maybe they just
got it before
first.
you, yeah.
I'm going to say stole it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, basically, all you need to look up is rwolf.art.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, then r.wolfart. But I think rwolf.art should work.
All right,
And
just 6 more options.
Yes. And then also you can just see me chilling out on the D4WH Instagram and social medias.
Chillin'.
Plug my own podcast.
You just post pictures of yourself hanging out, do you?
I don't post pictures of
By
myself
yourself.
anywhere, basically.
Chillin' like a villain.
Yeah, I'm in my room crying. Woo.
Oh, God.
Editing.
Hey, I didn't know that Netflix and chill meant sex.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because in my day, it was like, do you want to come back to my place for coffee and look at my record albums?
Is that what that's called now?
Yeah, pretty much. You want to look at my albums?
Look at the grooves on my record.
Yeah.
You can tell how old she is by looking at the grooves on her record.
How many rings she has.
Yeah. That means the guy's going to cut me open, which is not the guy I would invite up.
With his needle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Going to shank me. Yeah, so...
You wouldn't want to set the speed too high, otherwise it sounds really bad.
I think we
plays
should
the song
have
too
a
quickly.
new segment, nothing to do with Doctor Who, which is shit Nicchia does not know about the new generation,
Well,
which is Netflix and chill.
Yeah, well, it's insinuated to be like
Yeah.
Netflix and chillers and come around and have sex and pretend that we're going to just sit and watch movies.
Yeah.
But I think in the last, I don't know, year or so, people have just gotten so fucking lazy that it's gone back to just meaning
Netflix and chill.
They're just like, yeah, we could have sex or we could just sit and watch
So
TV
what
for
Netflix
5
and chill
minutes.
means now is like, hey, I'm going to be watching the entire 5th season of a TV show that you have not even started.
If you want to
just
give
come
me a
up-
handy, let me know.
Just come over, sit there so I can snuggle, and don't ask me any questions.
Sit there and snuggle.
Yeah, well, you know, I was going to say just sit there and not stare at each other.
There you go. Well, the whole world's changing around me. I'm trying to keep up, but it's just going too
Don't
It changes
keep
way,
up.
yeah, it changed way too quickly.
And Nicchia, your plugs?
Nicchia Should Comedy. I would like to tell you that I have 19 different names for it, like Rebekah does, but it's just Nicchia Should Comedy. And any gigs I have, I will put up there. But I would also like to plug D4W live show as we start releasing clips and stuff. But get on and have a look at our fabulous Glenn Stevens song about the Daleks Day Out. So I will plug that.
And as always, you can follow Adam O'Sullivan Comedian on Facebook and visit thenerdinfinite.com. Also, if you're in or around Banyo on the last Friday of every month, come on down to All In Brewing in Banyo. It's going to be a great free comedy night.
Yep, and there's always great acts. I don't run it anymore, but it's fabulous.
D4WH is on Facebook. Give a page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D4WHpod. We'll post questions and polls and would love your input and feedback. Rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook and follow us on Podbean. We are also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Help us get the word out. Tell your friends about us. And if you see someone on the street wearing a Doctor Who shirt, politely go up to them and suggest our podcast. Get the word out. Beck, do you have some suggestions for us?
Yeah, because that worked so well last week.
Yeah.
Air conditioner and...
Which you just thought of an object, so I've got to think of a place.
Air conditioner.
More dead air, please.
Wake me when she thinks of
before
something,
you
would
go.
you?
Let's think of a stereotypical Doctor Who thing. Cardiff.
Cardiff?
Yeah.
All right.
You might be in Cardiff, get the word out, you might be in Cardiff wandering around trying to find an air conditioner, but Cardiff is so backwards that they don't have air conditioning.
No, it's so cold.
It's so cold, that's right, they don't need air conditioning, they only have heaters, but you want to be colder. Colder! So you run around and, I don't know, governor, I ain't got you, and you realise, wait, that's not a Welsh accent. And you look around and you're like, oh my God, I'm on the set of a Doctor Who episode. This isn't Wales at all. It's England made to look like Wales, even though they could have filmed in Wales. And then you look over and you see some people being dragged away by security, and those are the hosts of D4WH trying to infiltrate the set and hand out cards to all of the cast and crew. So if you see any of the cast and crew, please tell them about this podcast. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Oh, yes, that would. Please do that. Look, you don't even have to come on. Just listen to it and give us a like. We'll love you forever.
If you can verify that you have gotten one of the cast or crew to listen to an episode of this podcast, we would love you forever.
Yep. I don't know what we could really offer you. Adam will give you a handy. There you go.
That's what we call a hand clap. Yeah. Just handy hand clap.
Adam will give you a clap. The clap. A clap. A clap.
A clap. Just one.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This has been a production of the Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
No, anyway. I forget what I was going to say. I was going to talk about something, and then you just kept yelling, "Where's your uterus?"
Did it?
Have you?
Then I started feeling sorry for my uterus.
You do know this is what the podcast is, basically. You start saying something, and we say some random shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I'm getting so old now, I forget what I was going to say. I need a little notes thing where I can write down something to say before they say shit.
You're so old. You're a whole year older than you used to be. When we started. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Have I broken you?
No.
Damn it, I'll have to keep doing this podcast then.